Just moments ago, the vampire squad arrived at the Black Forest to escort the human nobles who had come to offer tribute. Suddenly, a pair of wolf claws emerged from the ground, viciously pulling down the horses carrying the vampires, directly dragging them below. Sonya swiftly dispatched the primal werewolf that leaped out beside her. However, the onslaught of the primal werewolves had only just begun. Countless ferocious primal werewolves surged out from the depths of the forest, indiscriminately tearing into all life present. Despite Sonya's valiant defense, due to the overwhelming numbers of primal werewolves, almost all the slaves brought by the human nobles were slaughtered. At this moment, an exceptional scene unfolded with a black slave. Fearlessly, he engaged in direct combat with the charging primal werewolves. Amidst the slaughter by the primal werewolves, the vampire warriors on the scene suffered heavy losses. Amidst a tremor, the nobles inside the carriage looked up in panic. Yet, in the next second, a werewolf's claw forcefully reached into the carriage. Just as Lucian, who had sensed the abnormality outside the city, arrived with great effort, he swiftly dismounted and crashed into the primal werewolf before him. Concerned for Sonya's safety, Lucian paid no heed to tribal bonds as he swung his sword fiercely, decisively ending the werewolf before him. He also noticed the resilience of the black slave. Seeing the werewolf on the carriage roof, he directly jumped into action, engaging with the creature. Sonya swiftly arrived, her horse galloping, and with a powerful swing, she cut down the primal werewolf that had climbed onto the carriage. Due to his focus on his beloved, Sonya was seized by a ferocious primal werewolf that burst forth, and she was dragged below. Fortunately, Sonya cleverly turned the tables and fought back. Just as the primal werewolf lunged at Sonya, Lucian plunged his sword accurately into the werewolf's skull. Just as he pulled his love from the ground, Lucian saw that the warriors on the field were exhausted and falling behind. However, at this moment, primal werewolves continued to pour out from the depths of the dark forest. Seeing this, Lucian lost control and, despite his beloved's attempts to stop him, directly removed the collar from his neck. He transformed into the most formidable state of a werewolf. Yet, an unexpected scene occurred. The primal werewolves on the scene inexplicably halted their attack in unison. In this way, under Lucian's intimidation, the primal werewolves slowly began to retreat towards the depths of the forest. Perhaps even Lucian himself didn't anticipate this situation. He was unknowingly sowing the seeds of his reign as the Wolf King. Suddenly, Lucian collapsed to the ground, struck by several arrows. Obviously, Victor had arrived with a vampire army. Seeing his daughter's act of saving Lucian, Victor's anger intensified, especially regarding Lucian's act of removing the collar. Upon the group's return to the castle, the vampires began their brutal punishment of Lucian. With all the werewolf slaves watching, they bound Lucian's naked upper body to the execution platform. The overseer who had previously been mistreated stepped forward, mocking coldly, stating that he would carry out the punishment gently. The whip he held was laced with silver blades, and when the overseer viciously lashed it against Lucian's back, Lucian instantly felt a terrifying pain. His back was soon torn open by the lashes. At this point, the werewolf slave who owed Lucian protection couldn't bear it anymore and attempted to resist, but to no avail. Despite the merciless lashes, Lucian let out heart-wrenching screams. However, when he looked toward his anguished lover in the distance, for the first time, he began to yearn for freedom. After enduring 30 lashes, the barely conscious Lucian was ruthlessly thrown into the dungeon by the guards. Looking at the man before her who had saved everyone, despite the well-intentioned warnings from other werewolves, the black slave clenched the long cloth and dripped water into Lucian's mouth. Several hours later, thanks to his powerful regenerative abilities, Lucian had improved significantly. At this point, Sonya secretly came to visit him. Time was short, and they couldn't talk much. Lucian informed Sonya that before leaving the city, the historian Tanis had warned him to watch for hidden looks in Sonya's eyes. If he hadn't told Victor about their relationship, there must be another reason. He urged Sonya to find him and uncover the truth, suggesting that Tanis might help him escape from captivity. In the vampire hall at this time, the council members gathered. As the doors to the banquet opened, groups of human nobles carrying gold, silver, and jewels arrived for the tribute. However, they were unaware that they were about to face Victor's terrifying wrath.